Big Hair Wednesday holdover. Stansbury does Big Hair Wednesday on, well, you're never going to believe this, on Wednesdays. Hence the name. All the great 80s hair stuff, whatever the lunch hour. There's a band called Rat. I was a huge Rat fan back in the day. I don't know why. They just scratched me where I itched. Because they weren't like a super hair band. I have these all in offline.
I mean,
is that doing anything or no?
I don't know.
If I take them out, there's no level, but...
It's coming through on two channels, though, right? Let me see.
I don't know. Because before, I didn't have it in offline, and there was no level. Then I put it in offline.
See, it's only coming...
And there was levels. And now I took it out of offline, and there's levels.
There's levels, but it usually comes through right and left, and it's only coming in...
Oh, I see.
Right
it's
now.
Yeah, it's in the right channel.
And I don't know how to... fix that.
All right, well, I don't know, man. Anyway, the band Rat.
Yeah.
Any excuse for me to listen to a little bit of Rat? You guys probably don't know Rat.
Nope.
You might know Round and Round. You might know a couple of the big songs. You might know...
You spin my head right round. Is that them?
Shut up, Mary. They did The Way Cool Jr. You know, that was there.
Does, though.
This song called, of course, Lay It Down. Great song. Anyway, they did have a guitar player who eventually died. I think the urban legend was he died from HIV. I don't know if that was the case. But he did get really, really fat. So I think whatever condition he had, I think he had like a kidney disease or something that made him, a guy named Robin Crosby, who was a great guitarist, but got very, very big as a result of whatever condition he had. And I think he died subsequently from that. But Rat, I was thinking, because they don't have the inflatable Rat out here in front. Next door, there's a huge construction project going on, and they've been getting picketed because it's not a union site. So they've been getting picketed by the whatever that heavy machine operator union is, IOUOE or whatever. And IUOE, I think, is the union. And so these guys...
International Union of Everybody.
International Union of...
Everybody. Earwax.
Operator engineers, something like that. International Union Operator. I think they're the heavy machinery guys. The guys working the cranes. And it's other people too, but I think that's primarily. And because that's a non-union site, these guys are out here. But they had an inflatable Rat, which you'll see at a lot of union protests. We just had Labor Day, which is a celebration of the union movement. People don't realize how much they owe unions in this country. But there were a handful of guys. Now, when it was raining, because we were out Monday, when it was raining yesterday, the dudes that were out there were a bit of a scragglier group. Today, there's guys out there in like golf shirts and button-downs. But I walked out there to do my pre-show lap, and I was chatting him up a little bit. I go, "Where's the Rat? No Rat?" He goes, "No, not today." And what? He
They
goes,
did it for a different protest, probably.
you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
You think they have one Rat that they have to lend to different protests? You
It's
think
all booked up.
You think there's a sign-up sheet where the union guys have to sign out the Rat?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like an air compressor, obviously. You know, you got to keep that thing inflated. You might want to invest in it, because those, anytime you see those, they always look really old. They look like the first generation inflatable Rat. They have like weird colors on their belly. It's whatever. But no Rat out there today. And I'm curious why. He said, "No, maybe tomorrow." And I didn't want to get into some long, drawn-out conversation with him, but I was curious as to why some Rat days and some non-Rat days. But you might be onto something. Maybe it was signed out and put somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think that if you're going to stage more than one protest at a time, and these are guys just standing there with, you know, the cardboard placards on saying they're protesting the site. No contract.
You think that makes the workers feel bad?
No.
No?
They're working. I mean,
There goes one right there.
Yeah.
He's in a...
That's what I mean. There's guys with button-downs and...
Every time I go to say something about someone on the street, I stop myself because I'm like, oh my God, they can hear us. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad.
No, we're not.
He's got on a button-down and nice pants.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Today, they look a bit more middle management
Maybe they're like
variety
the
of.
union reps.
Maybe they are. But you think that the reps
But if they're
or the
working on the thing, they're not. There's no union guys on this job, so are they protesters or are they working?
No,
I'm
these
saying
guys,
these guys are probably the union reps, and this is a non-union site.
it's a non-union site. So these guys are protesting.
Okay.
It's a non-union site. So, but no rat. Listen, you know, as far as the revolving door of dudes, I don't know one from the other.
You want to draw them a rat? And
I
want to
see that. Huh?
You want to draw a rat for them and take it over and say,
No.
I noticed you guys didn't have your rat today. I figured you could hang this up.
No. Because it's
Huh.
not, because that, whatever rendering I could do of a rat wouldn't have the, it doesn't have the impact of that giant 10-foot tall inflatable rat. I don't even understand the significance of the rat itself at union protests. I don't understand the rat. But it's
not cool to be a rat. That's I think what it is. I don't know because they're not like ratting on anybody. If anything, the protesters are kind of ratting on them. It's weird.
well, I mean, listen, you'd know
Maybe
if you
it's their Chinese birth symbol. They were born in the year of the rat.
all
The
these
union,
guys,
The union was.
all these guys, local 18,
The
all
union,
these guys were born.
The union's birth year, the year that it was founded, was the year of the rat, and they just happened to hold on to that, I guess. That probably makes the most sense.
Huh. That makes the most sense.
Yes.
They're all born year of the rat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm year of the snake. My favorite shoes are snake shoes.
How do you know what year you are in the Chinese calendar?
It was on the placemat at the Chinese restaurant I used to go to.
And you remembered it.
Mhm.
All right.
I can only assume that was in childhood.
Yes.
Well, I
Namwa
Namwa.
in Berea.
have inside sources
Oh God, this.
on the. I really do.
Is Namwa still there?
It is. It's like, I think it might be the only Chinese place in Berea.
Berea has one
Maybe
Chinese
two.
restaurant.
I think there's another one on Front Street, but Namwa is, yeah.
So they're never going to go out of business because, like, Christmas, it's all Jewish people eating
Mhm.
dinner in there. They get all the business for anybody
Dude,
who's got a
Berea has-
hankering for Chinese
Yes.
goes to Namwa.
Berea's Namwa Chinese. And again, I could be wrong. I've only been living back there for a few months. And they have one Mexican place called Maya. So it's like if you want that type of food, you have to go to that place.
Well, that's if you're in Berea.
If
I
you're
mean,
in
you could
Berea.
go up the street and there'll be another Mexican place.
No, there's
but-
not, man. There's not another one for a while.
Why?
You have to drive into like North Olmsted or Strongsville to get to a different Mexican place.
Well,
I guess
you
there's
don't
one in
want to
Parma.
do that.
I mean, if you don't, well, there's sometimes I'm like, I don't want to drive 15 or 20 minutes to go eat dinner. I'd rather go up the street.
well, Bill says he has inside sources, so I'm curious of those inside sources.
According to my inside sources, it's Cleveland Construction, who is non-union, and my inside source represents the Operating Engineers Union. They're using a non-union contractor for the tower crane over there.
That's what I said.
yeah, but
it's
what's
not a
with the
union
rat?
site.
And okay, now we need to know what's with the rat.
You didn't. That
Your inside source
didn't
just
give us
repeated what I
anything.
said. I'm the inside source. I'm right here. We're all
We
inside.
already
No,
said that.
I just said it's a non-union site, and these guys are protesting.
Well, he
that.
said the exact thing, and
He just said what I said.
well, he wasn't listening to the show.
But you were.
Yeah,
and
why'd
that's
you
what I
read
said.
the text?
I was reading his thing, trying to get the sound to work.
Yeah.
I asked what's with the rat, and he's typing. That's Scabby the rat. He represents the
Oh,
non-union.
you can't cross the line.
Yeah, he represents the
Sca-
non-union pieces of S word for poop.
Scabby the rat. That makes sense because the inflatable looks like it has the mange or something. It looks like it's got it's got like pustules on it or something. Scabby the rat.
Scabby the rat. There you go.
Now that's
See, the inside
that's
sources
an
came
ins-
through. Down
That's the inside source. Scabby the rat. Okay. So that's like a well-known thing then. That's your standard 12-foot tall inflatable rat named Scabby. That's your standard.
So he's the non-union rep,
Yes.
Gabby.
No, he's the union rat.
I thought he said it
No,
represents
he
the POS.
he represents the.
It's a sign of opposition against non-union contractors.
Well, but they're saying Scabby the rat is non-union.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Look
Now I
at this
get it.
rat. He's a gross scabby
So,
rat.
wait
He
a
doesn't
minute.
like the unions.
So what you're saying is the union wasn't formed in the year of the rat? This isn't a Chinese New
I'm
Year
not
thing?
saying that.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I don't have that information.
Both could be true.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. If this is an iconic symbol of a labor dispute, and we just had Labor Day is more than just a day off, right?
Mhm.
Why is there only one?
It's the most
Assuming-
socialist of holidays.
The Labor Day?
Yeah. People get bent out of shape when they hear the word socialist, but then they get the day off and they're like, well, maybe it's not so bad.
Right.
People
Okay,
getting a
well-
living wage, getting a weekend. Well, not a living wage right now, but, the idea of it,
Okay, well, now we know what that
40-hour
is.
work week.
I was reading about outcast rats. We've got them down. My baby don't mess. Not that kind. The kind that you'll just see running around. And it's not that they're random rats. You'll see these in any a major American city. Obviously, they're very prevalent in places like New York and Chicago, where there are more rats than people. In Cleveland, though, you can walk right outside here, and you'll see rats that are what researchers call disenfranchised rats. City rats that are just kind of weird loners. They don't have like a pack that they're with. They're just like, remember Pizza Rat?
Yeah.
Pizza Rat goes viral because it was in New York, and it was a rat hauling off an entire slice of pizza.
Which I think we found out was someone's pet rat.
Yes, it was a hoax. It was a performance artist.
Oh,
Look at my Pizza Rat. But, for 48 hours,
Yeah.
the dude was getting people to pay attention to him.
I don't see a lot of rats around here.
Yeah, I don't
though.
see a lot of rats. And
Oh,
also,
boy, I've seen him.
there's so can you give them the same moniker as you would a wolf that's by itself, like a lone rat? Is that
I don't know about that.
Well, rats don't run in packs unless you're, Sammy and Frank and
I think they do.
whoever else.
I think they do run in they're like colonies. Like they have large
Oh,
groups.
maybe.
They all kind of hang out together.
There was a
There's
possum.
the rat kings where all their tails get tangled and then they become one
Giant
giant rat, like on 30 Rock.
Willard is the rat king, I thought. There was a possum outside my wax center today.
Let's unpack that quickly. There was a possum outside my wax center.
Yeah.
This is where you go to make your bespoke candles.
Yes.
A possum.
Yes.
Was it an opossum or just a possum?
Or an awesome possum.
Oh, boy.
What's the difference
So many
between an
options.
opossum and a possum?
I think just where you're from.
All right.
But it was a daytime possum, which I have not seen.
Did it look recently waxed?
It did not. And I was
So
like,
it
what
wasn't
are
a
you doing,
customer.
buddy? You come and get a little waxy wax.
Come on in.
It was scurrying. It looked lost.
As they do.
It didn't look like it belonged. So maybe it was a lone rat possum.
Do you think that if the opportunity had presented itself, that this establishment would have taken in the possum and given it a Brazilian wax?
No. Do you want to know
Is there
why?
any scenario in which this place would give a Brazilian wax to a possum?
Because the manager came out, terrified and aggravated, saying that
This is a female
this
manager?
is a female manager, saying, like, shooing it away, saying that the only reason why possums are out in the daytime is because they're rabid. And she was very flustered and very upset that it was near her door. Like, it was like, there's like a little garden patch outside the door, and it was like hanging out in there. She's like, there's a rabid possum outside.
Were you able to see foam near its mouth?
It didn't look rabid. It was just kind of hanging out. It wasn't really doing anything.
Maybe she was just trying to divert people's attention away from the fact that there was a possum outside her door.
She was calling attention to the fact that there was a possum outside the door.
That's
Calling it rabid.
therein lies the genius. Was it hissing?
No.
Was it drooling?
It was minding its own business. It
was
wasn't doing anything.
You said it was scurrying. Was it swaying? These
It
are
was
all
scurrying, yeah.
These are the behaviors of a possum that's rabid.
They're so ugly, man.
It's part of an elaborate routine intended to scare away predators.
It wasn't doing any of that.
Okay.
Always makes me think of Fairway Frank from Parks and Rec when Andy has to catch the possum.
Yeah.
By the way, this says that any mammal can get rabies, but it's extremely rare for a possum. So she doesn't know what she's talking about. They're only out in the daytime when they're rabid.
That's
which-
exactly what she was saying.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like something that someone would say when they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
And I'm no possum expert,
Me either.
but this here says it's extremely rare for a possum. So it seems like maybe she could have incorporated it into the business.
I feel
Wax
like
that possum.
no.
That's my pillow
it's a
talk.
wild animal. You can't like hold it down. How's it going to spread its butt cheeks apart?
You can't. Well, you have to help it do that. You would have to lightly sedate it
With what?
with
The only-
possum tranquilizers,
Where are you gonna
Mary.
get that? This is a waxing place.
Yeah, you put it. What, they don't ever have somebody in there goes for a Brazilian and then all of a sudden they're just overcome with terror and they have to slightly sedate them?
Not
They
that
just
I know of.
they twilight them just to get their knees into their chest so they can do what they've got to do and
We
then
don't do it that way.
get them on their way.
You lay on your back butterfly style.
Yeah, I know. It's
Heels
all
together
It's all
and
new.
then-
You crazy kids and you newfangled. Back in the day, we had to lie there with
Happy
our
baby pose.
with our knees in our chest,
Now you flip over on your belly and you pull your butt apart.
just airing our taint out for the world to see.
It's not called happy baby pose anymore. It's called Cleveland quarterback.
Jacoby Brissett?
Well, not that one.
Oh,
Deshaun.
that guy. Gen Z, you guys have, thanks a lot. You've killed the hookups, by the way. I was reading about that. Well, because I went down a little rabbit hole, if you will, this morning about how single women who are opting to not have children, our own Mary Santora comes
Amen.
to mind immediately, they're getting richer
We
in
are.
society. Now, again, I don't know who had to do a study on this. Anybody not having children is getting richer.
Did you know
Right?
you have more money without
Guys,
babies?
yeah. Guess what? Foregoing marriage and parenthood means you get to keep a lot more money.
Go travel.
Oh, boy. Well, the point of this was it's more beneficial to women than men. Single women are who are foregoing marriage and children and all that because I would imagine they've got more professional flexibility.
Yeah.
Hey, we need you to run our Macau office. All right, I'll move to Macau.
Or they don't have any other distractions. So you can
Right.
put everything you have into your work and move up faster than you would.
The guys have to pay for the drinks.
Yeah. She wants equality till the check comes.
I'm a gay. I don't want equality. I want you to pay for my check.
Well, you do understand the inequality of the sexes more than anyone else.
More than a gay man
gay
knows
man.
that the inequality of the sexes
Yes.
more than anyone else. So
That was my 20s.
the median. Oh yeah, today's the last day. Did you hear? He turns 30 tomorrow.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that this.
By the
is
way, in the break, my wife informed me that I already have a gift for Poundcake.
Oh,
Hey, look at that.
She had to remind me.
Okay.
you already bought him something?
No, she bought it a while ago and said, you've got to give this to Cody for his birthday. And so it's been squirreled away for months.
Nice.
I said, perfect. But I forgot about it
Is it
because it's been squirreled away.
something to help me grow my hairline? That's what I've been praying
Yeah,
for.
a wig.
A bossly.
Aren't you already doing that?
Yeah, I am.
Why would she have purchased that for you? And then I'm putting it in.
I don't know.
What? Honey, hide the Bosley. We've got friends coming over. Yeah, so Gen Z killed the hookup because everybody's worried about everything now. So hookup culture. Now, you might be listening and going, Alan, I just hooked up last night. But post-COVID and everything else, that has really set into motion some lingering anxieties about hooking up.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about women not having babies.
I am. And I said this is part of a thing about Gen Z killing the hookup and women who are foregoing having children at all. People who aren't in relationships.
Well, you can hook up and not have a baby,
Correct.
so they're not related.
I said I went down a rabbit hole, Mary.
Okay, sorry.
This
sorry,
is the
sorry.
rabbit hole.
Sorry.
All right?
She's trying to learn about the youths.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Sorry.
Well, also,
Your
you know,
reaction is not bussing.
the youths, you know, they're like, I don't have to play by your rules, man. I mean, we all did it, right?
Right.
Every generation has its own ideas about how things should be done. Ours did. Of course, my generation, we didn't care. Everything we said would happen has happened exactly the way we said it would happen.
You're Gen X.
And yes.
Bill, are
And
you
so-
Gen X?
He's a millennial.
Or
I'm a,
cusp?
I'm a old millennial.
Oh.
Because I'm like on the cusp though. Like it's yeah, like it's
pronounced
like 1
crust.
year before I was born.
Pronounced crust.
I'm on the
Yeah.
crust.
I'm on the crust.
Yeah, just call me a crust. I'm a
Dip
crust.
me in butter juice.
Butter juice.
Butter juice.
It's got the juice.
Garlic
Yeah.
butter juice for pizza crust.
And then when I put butter on it, everything changed. Corn Kid. Possums don't get Lyme disease. They eat ticks.
Wait, what?
People
Nobody
are
said
saying
anything about Lyme disease.
No, but I was talking about rabbit. They're like, they eat ticks and don't get Lyme disease, so they're probably not getting it. But people like possums because they eat ticks.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Somebody pointing out that they only... I'm mad because I didn't go there.
Oh,
They
there it
only...
goes.
Your place only waxes beavers. No, not possums. A possum's body temperature is too high to carry rabies. All right.
Well, I'll be sure when I go back in 4 weeks to let that manager know.
4 weeks.
Every 4 weeks.
Like clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they suggest, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on your hair.
Well,
growth.
they do because they want you in there as off. It's like when you go get your oil change and they go, come back every 200 miles. You know,
Right.
It's like we don't need that. I can do it twice a year and be fine. They want you coming in at the slightest whiff of stubble.
I mean,
You need a little bit of stubble for it to pull out.
you
know?
have to go
Yeah.
at least 4 weeks. I mean, unless your hair grows crazy fast, they recommend 4 to 6 weeks in between waxes.
Hmm.
And I just do every 4 weeks.
It's just so often.
It is, but it's way less
Is
than
it though?
shaving.
It's once a month.
Yeah.
Is that a
Instead of
is that
shaving once
frequent?
a week.
How much is it to do it each time?
I signed up on man, you know I love a deal, and I'm a little gullible. They got me.
And you
on,
don't ask a lot of questions.
I don't. I say, how much money am I saving? Sold. They got me on the if you buy a whole year's worth
Oh,
today,
no.
then we'll knock off however many $100 and you get a 13th one free.
Hey,
So-
pay up front.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I bought a package of 12 and I saved like $150 or something, according to them.
So how much you paying per wax?
It's normally, I think they said it's normally like 85 and I'm ending up paying like 65 or 55.
Sheesh.
Maybe those numbers could be 100% wrong. I paid for it back in April for the whole year and I haven't looked back.
So you're locked in for the 12-month wax plan.
I get 12 waxes.
Yeah.
I don't have to use them once a month. Well, no, I get 13 because I threw in one for free.
Could you use them all in 1 month?
I think I'd be pretty raw, but I probably could.
You couldn't backload all your waxes? Mary,
And
would
does
you
it
like
have
to...
to be a whole day wax?
I doesn't have to. They can do your eyebrows or your armpits.
Mary,
or-
would you like to make your next appointment? Yeah, could you make it for Thursday?
This poor woman came
I need to
out.
fit 12 of these in the month, and it's February.
Not even a poor woman, but she came out and she had gotten her lip done, and your skin is pretty red and bumpy after you get it done. And it didn't look good. She had one big strip of red
Mm.
You
bumpy.
look like a Kool-Aid mustache.
Yeah, across the whole top of her lip, and I was like, "Oh,
Like,
honey."
oh, yeah!
No.
I've got to take a break. If you want to get a text for anything, 35192 to do that. AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch